Well, howdy there, Pipe Pals. How's it going? It's me, Holy Smokin' Pipe Padre. Back at you again. Good morning. Well, I'm still enjoying a little bit of, this is like my last few hours before I have to, before I return to the parish there, but I'm going to get cleaned up here in a little bit. I just got back from a walk. And I guess this is a Barnjay. Anyway, but I'm smoking some Orlik Golden Sliced. Quite tasty. And so I'm here just to kind of let me do my Hazel Fassard impersonation here, and just talking about all sorts of very deep things, holding my microphone. Yeah. Anyway, that guy's kind of cool. I've watched some of his videos, so there you go. Okay, well, not going to talk about a whole lot today. This is just kind of a wrap-up video from my little week off that I've had. And I was going to talk, a couple people asked me a couple questions, and I thought I'd try to answer those. Wonderful. So, I got a lot of nice comments and suggestions about cleaning vulcanite pipe stems. The beauty is, I don't think you really make, well, maybe they do make vulcanite pipe stems, but I thought the trend was to make more of acrylic stems, which don't need that high maintenance. And I have some pipes that have acrylic stems, but most of my pipes, because I'm old, have the vulcanite. Live long and prosper. Right? From the planet Vulcan. That's good. Not bad. Orlik Golden Sliced. Yeah. Still think that's a little nun there from the back. It kind of looks like a little bit of a nun to me. It's just me. Not you. It's me. So, but I did have some good comments. Now again, I am just beginning to learn the art of, restoring pipes and cleaning them up. I am not an expert by any stretch of the imagination. I'd also like to say to a lot of you, don't try this at home unless you have adult supervision. That's good. But basically the procedure, there's lots of different ways of doing it. And it's sort of like you got to find the technique that works best for you. Daniel, good old Daniel Shore, I think it is. He's entered in a couple of my contests over the years. Didn't have a contest this year. Maybe in the late fall, maybe the old Padre will have a contest. We'll wait and see. That's something I'll ask you. How many people like to see the Padre have another contest? I mean, do people do contests anymore? I always like doing them, but I put in a lot of work, and I enjoyed doing it. Don't get me wrong. I didn't get anything out of it other than just the enjoyment of putting together a fun video and a fun contest. But and I think a lot of people enjoyed entering the contest. So let me know. Put a little comment in would you like to see Holy Smokin' Pipe Padre have another contest? Another contest and a little giveaway. Let me know what you think. But anyway, some people were asking me, and some people were giving me some hints. Daniel was saying, well, this is how I do it. And, Daniel, if you want to make the journey up north on probably a Sunday afternoon, probably be the best time for me. We could probably have a little repast and pull out some pipes and sit on the veranda, maybe have a little smoke session there, and you can share some of your tips and stuff. So anyway, but yeah, the thing that I think I've seen over and over again for really badly oxidized pipe stems is you want to soak them in OxiClean and let them soak overnight. Then you really want to rinse them out real well. Then you can do whatever technique that works for you, whatever's best for you. I think it was Daniel was saying that he uses a battery-powered toothbrush instead of a buffer, which sounds great. I got the Dremel tool now. I haven't tried the Dremel tool on restoring the stems because I know I've done it with the buffer before many years ago, and that's why I went this route, because it was sort of like, well, this is the easiest route for me to do. Dremel is a little bit more involved. I think you have to have a little bit more. I mean, again, I think you have a little more patience with it, but I haven't tried it yet. Man, now I gotta be honest. I think I've been smoking almost every day this week, and I have to tell you, when I was on my walk, and I'm doing my 24-hour fast. I'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. But I was getting a hankering for a pipe. And normally I mean, yeah, there are times I get a hankering for a pipe, but it was pretty, I wouldn't say it's super strong, like, oh, I have to have it, but I was really looking forward to this pipe when I got back from my walk this morning. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. But just, I always like to kind of be aware of, well, you know, sometimes when your cravings start getting the better of you, you got to be careful. Man, that is good. Anyway, so let them soak in the OxiClean, clean them out, rinse them out, dry them out. And like I said, I see, I think Matches 860 says just use, instead of rubbing compound, you can use some toothpaste on the buffer. You know, that's what he recommended. And he has a video showing some of his pipe buffing techniques. And I would think toothpaste isn't bad, except that you're going to get a little bit of a minty flavor, which is, I mean, it's not a big deal. But again, that might be the only drawback. I'm just thinking now you could probably get a solution. You can make your own solution of, say, maybe baking soda, a little bit of baking soda, making baking soda paste and doing it that way. You know, that would be harmless. There wouldn't be any carcinogenic effects using baking soda. I don't know how gritty it would be, though. But it probably wouldn't be as bad as, I mean, you use baking soda for toothpaste, so I'm thinking that baking soda paste would work real well too. Haven't tried it, but theoretically it sounds like that would be a good thing to use. Got to get a pipe cleaner. So anyway, then after you've and again, it all depends. Also, there are other things that you can use to get the oxidation off. I mean, I've been trying different things for this past week. You can use micro mesh pads. I found some micro mesh pads like 800. I get from 600 to 800 to 900 to 10 to 1,000 to 1,200. You can use those for lightly buffing it, and then you can, you know, do a little bit of wax and shine it up that way. You know, you're going to get different lusters, you know, and I think one of the things about these stems, with when I get the new buffing wheels, they're a lot softer cotton, and also I think the RPM of the machine. Now mine only has one speed; it's pretty high, but if you really, you know, I noticed if you really dig into those pads, it'll begin to actually slow there's going to be some resistance in the pad. So you might want to get a variable speed, but the only problem with that is that you then would really run a risk of burning out the stem or the actual pipe bowl. I think the speed that I have, even though it's a 1 speed, is safe enough to where you're not going to burn up a pipe. Now, if you have a really heavy duty, almost like a sanding pad, stiff fabric, and I did this once before, and that's how I burned a pipe. Is there's got to be some pliability to the buffing wheel. If there's very little pliability, then you're going to run the risk of I think burning something or really damaging something. But I do believe that if you have a higher buffing speed and you know what you're doing, you'll get a higher luster on the stems and even on the pipe bowl. Like the people that did it at Briar Patch, Sean, he knows what he's doing, and so the pipes just came back gleaming beautiful. You may remember that. I have the video. You go see the video a couple of years ago. Gleaming. Absolutely beautiful. So anyway, then then you just then I guess the other question is the maintenance part of it. How do you kind of then just touch them up, and so you don't have to always be buffing them out all the time. But anyway, so one of the things I wanted to talk about a little bit is vacations are wonderful. I love my little. I do what I do is they're kind of like most people say. Well, they're like staycations or whatever. But I don't. I mean, I'm a homebody for the most part. But I like to go visit people. And so now that most of my friends live far away, I take day trips and just a lot of beautiful driving up here. And so I like to go visit people, and might be a day trip. Like you start off early in the morning and then come back late in the afternoon, early in the evening. So although I don't just sit and watch TV or play with my pipes as much as I like to, I do like to visit my friends, and I like to spend time with them. I like to cook. I did some cooking for some dear friends, and they just got back from a trip, and I just thought, you know what? They're tired. Maybe if I made them something that might be a real blessing to them. So I did that. I enjoyed doing it. I like cooking for people, especially because when they really like it and they appreciate it, it just encourages me to do more. So there you go. So guys, what do you think of this picture over here? This guy, he's quite something. I don't know who he is. I just saw this picture. It just came up on the feed. And he's wearing, of all things, a cope. That's a very Catholic vestment, but yet he's wearing a suit. It looks like he's wearing a stole underneath the cope. He's got that right, But he's wearing a cope, and he's got a tux on underneath the cope and the stole, and he has an iPad Pro. It looks like it's an iPad or an iPad Pro in his hands. So he's quite the dapper clergyman, but I guess this is something about some newfangled New Age pastor. So it intrigued me. So I just thought I'd use this as a background. So anyway, vacations to me. Now I know a lot of people like to go away, and in some ways I understand that, and it works for a lot of people. But for the most part, when you get back from those kinds of vacations, and although you may see some beautiful scenery, you may see, and you may be spending time with family, and that's always the best thing. But sadly, when you get back from your vacation, then you're ready for a vacation because you're going to need a vacation from your vacation. And I don't like that feeling. I like to be able to relax and have what I call a low stress vacation. So, now again, I got into this whole pipe restoration thing, and I mean, I'm happy I'm learning. Again, I'm only a novice, so please don't take what I say as the gospel and pipe restoring, because I'm just bumbling around in the dark, and again I rely a lot upon all of you who have done this more than I have and have had success at it. But but again, it was a project that I've been wanting to do for a number of, actually for quite a while. And again, it's something that I have to kind of pace myself and kind of say, well, where am I going to put the buffer, or where am I going to do this procedure when I want to do it? How sustainable is it? That's always the biggest question for me. How sustainable is something? We can all do big projects, and some projects are just a one-time thing. You renovate your house, you're going to tear the thing up from top to bottom, and it's going to be a mess, and it's going to be a pain in the you-know-what for months on end. But when it comes to an end, then you can enjoy it and say, well, I'm glad we got that done. And so for me, pipe restoration and cleaning them and polishing them is kind of a little bit like that. It's like it's an involved process. And although I like doing things, as long as there's kind of a result, a positive result, I have no problems investing my time, my energy, my money into doing something that'll have a good result. Probably got a little bit of hair I got left, a little stringy and mess up. I'm gonna have to shave again. But anyway, so but I always determine a vacation's success on, you look back and you say, I did some interesting things, and maybe I learned something new. Maybe I was able to achieve something, maybe I was able to visit some people. Maybe I was able to help some people, So if I can check those little blocks, not that I do it intentionally, but if I can say, yeah, I was able to do these things on my vacation, and then I come back and I'm relaxed, I feel like, okay, I've had some significant downtime, a little bit of R&R, where I didn't overindulge in anything, which I didn't, and just feel good. That's basically what it is, just to relax. And I did. I was able to, kind of just have a very positive little vacation. So I'm feeling ready to go back and greet people and say hi to everybody. And of course, they it's like, you don't really go anywhere. Well, and again, I know people that love to travel the world. I have one friend who that's all she does is travel the world. And there's nothing wrong with that. But, and again, have lots of probably really good memories and beautiful pictures. But in some ways, they're seeing the world, and there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, they come back and then they're tired. They have jet lag. Then they got to go back to reality. For me, I would need a vacation after that. I would say I need some time to relax. See, to me, vacation is relax time. It's not stress out time. And sometimes when you go on these long, faraway vacations, it can be stressful. But again, there's a trade-off. There's always a trade-off. So, I was going to talk a little bit about one last thing. Somebody had said, well, don't you think all this diet stuff is kind of like a new religion? And, oh, absolutely. You look at the vegans. And again, I'm not here to rag on vegans. I mean, I probably, in fact, I've been thinking about doing this for quite a while. And I think I've got it to where I could probably do a 7-day juice fast. Not because I'm really striving to lose weight, really. I just like the fact. I guess I really am kind of into this whole fasting thing, and I am fascinated by it. Again, I used to hate fasting. I used to dread the whole thing. because it's something that we don't experience a lot. We just have a plethora of food at our fingertips 24/7. You know, pick up a phone and order a pizza right now if I want to, right? Go down to the Waffle House and order a big stack of bacon and waffles. Yeah. Let's have waffles! And making waffles is fun, and especially if you're really creative. You know, bananas and blueberries and... Ooh, but boy, those carbs. Oh, man, I'm starting to get lightheaded just thinking about that. Whoa. But so is the new dietary thing kind of a religion for people? And that's a great question, and I think in some ways it is. Now some people I've had a couple of vegans get really angry at me because I actually said that on one of my little blogs once, and so I got a lot of angry responses. It's not a religion. Well, it substitutes for a religion. It's definitely a philosophy of life. And even the people that are in the ketogenic diet or the paleo diet, which is pretty much what I'm following, you know, absolutely, it can be, in some ways, it can be, certainly, it can be a driving force in your life. And that's what religion is in many ways. It's a driving force. It's what guides you. It's what, it's what you focus on. Now, you might say, but isn't that wrong if you're a Christian or something, you know, to focus so much on your attention on, you know, your health and your fitness, quote unquote. And I don't think can it become obsessive just like anything? Hey, pipe smoking can become obsessive. Pipe collecting. Anything can be obsessive. We all know that. But for me, and I'm just speaking for me, and again, I could be, this may not resonate with you, and that's okay. But over the last 3 years, on my journey of weight loss, the reason why I'm intrigued by this whole process, and I shared with one person this morning, I said, I think one of the things that attracts people once they get into it, you gotta pay the price of membership, and I'm not saying it's easy, it's not impossible, but you do have to invest your life into a new way of life. But once you do that, and once you begin to see those results, and I've seen a couple of videos of some other people, they're not following a particular diet, they just really dedicated themselves to, they were really obese, I think 300-400 pounds, and they're a couple of young guys, and now they're skinny guys, and they're like, one guy is just going great guns, and the other two guys they're getting there. But there's a sense that once you kind of cross the Rubicon, you kind of look back and you say, you know what? I don't like the way I felt back then. And you get excited because you see that you do have some, maybe not a lot, but you have some control over your personhood, your not just your body, but your personhood. And I think there's nothing wrong in trying to address issues in your life physically. And if you do the right things, you're going to see good responses. And again, I mean, we could all, it could all come to an end tomorrow, you know. Walk out and get hit by a car, you know. You could have a aneurysm, you could have a stroke, you have a heart attack, okay? We don't live forever in this life. We will live forever in eternity. But again, as a person who has an interaction with, you know, people, if I'm not physically able to physically move and have a quality of life, I'm not a very effective person, okay? Because I don't feel good, I hurt, right? And when you're in chronic pain, and if it's due to, like, say, obesity or diabetes or hypertension or whatever it is, that takes a lot of your energy because you're trying to manage now pain. And I'm not saying that you're doing it with oxycodone or Vicodin or even Advil or Tylenol, but that level, that chronic level of pain, does wear on you. It just does. Now, if you're able, and I've been lucky, I'll be blessed that I was able to reverse a lot of the things that was wrong with me just by following a better diet and exercise. And the weight loss, the quote unquote fat burning, that's kind of an ancillary thing. Whether or not I'm going to get real 6-pack abs, I got 6-pack sags, got those. I'm not going to show you, but I got 6-pack sags for the loose skin. Not as bad as others, but still it's noticeable. It's like, that's not very attractive. And again, I'm not doing it to be a men's fitness cover model, but I do like the fact of being leaner and healthier and more flexible. I can bend over and tie my shoes. I couldn't do that 3 years ago. I had to kind of like, do these weird, crazy things because of my big old belly. And again, I would wake up in the morning feeling horrible. And I'd say, why am I so feeling terrible? Well, because my body, I wasn't taking care of myself. So I do think that when people get into this rhythm, this new way of life, and whatever you choose, whether you're going to be a raw food till 4 vegan, or you're into the Primal Blueprint with Mark Sisson, you're following all the these YouTube fitness people, and you're getting something out of it, a benefit out of it, well then good. But it's not the end all and the be all, that's for sure. But it gives you a quality of life. It's in many ways it's kind of like pipe smoking. I mean, people don't have to smoke a pipe, and some people say, well, it's not good for you to smoke a pipe, it's bad for you. But it's a quality of life thing, okay? It gives you a little bit of enjoyment, okay? And believe it or not, even though it might be uncomfortable and even a little bit painful to exercise and to maybe follow a new dietary regime, because you got to say no to the double overflow chocolate cakes and not indulge in those anymore. Once you begin to experience the positive effects, you kind of go, hey, I like that. There was a saying that Drew Manning said that, nothing tastes as good as healthy feels. And there's some truth to that. Nothing tastes as good as healthy feels. So, yeah, are there things that I kind of still miss, And again, I probably am not going to ever say I'm never going to have another piece of chocolate cake again, or I'm never going to have another bite of pizza again. But I think that I realize that I pay a price when I eat those things. And if I can do it literally in moderation, which is kind of cool, and it can be done, then you can still get a little bit of enjoyment, and you don't have to overindulge, and it's great. And now the thing about fasting, and the thing that I wanted to say about that real quick, and it's something I had to learn, and you have to learn it, and you can learn it. It's not impossible to learn, but you have to basically do this. This is the thing. If you wanted to follow this 24-hour protocol where you just eat one meal a day, I saw another video. I don't know if maybe I'll put a link to this. There's another video on eating one meal a day, and it was actually very well done. And it's not the other gentleman. Still, I know some people were really kind of upset about that video. I don't mean to upset anybody personally. And again, it's just for your information. Take it or toss it. It's not like I'm saying this is the way you got to do it, and this guy is awesome, and you need to listen to him. No, I'm just saying that this guy's experience is very impressive. I mean, I'm sorry, I was impressed. I don't know. Again, haven't gone to his website, so if he's trying to sell, quote unquote, a fad or a gimmick, I don't know that. I don't know about that. All I know is that I saw in the video And the reason why I resonated with it is because it's like kind of what I've stumbled into by accident. Um, so anyway, but the one meal a day thing is certainly doable. But here's, if I can give you a little, I wouldn't say secret or the key that unlocks it really, but you have to be willing to experience emptiness. You have to be able to walk with that for a number of hours during the day. Now, I'd be less than honest to say that I'm not hungry right now. I'm mildly hungry, quote unquote, because I realize that I'm going through my cycle of being empty, and what I've come to realize is that even though it may not, okay, it's not painful and it's not even unpleasant, it's just a sensation of, hey, I'm hungry, hey, I'm empty. I'm not starving. I know some people would like to debate me on that, but I'm not. And the thing is that you have to become comfortable again with the emptiness. You're not going to be empty forever. You're going to eat. I'm going to eat in a few hours. I mean, the way I look at it, if I just now I have been trying to do the 36-hour fasting because I was looking at trying to really get that big boost in the growth hormone and the ketosis thing. But you can do that if you do the 24-hour protocol. It'll work just a little bit slower. And I'm in no hurry to do anything, so it's like, hey, I'm comfortable with this. So if you're able just to be comfortable, and you have to teach yourself to say, okay, I am empty right now, and in a few hours I will have a nice, delicious meal, and it'll be good and healthy. It'll be nutritionally based. But I'm not going to starve. I'm not going to die. So you have to be able to kind of have a little bit of a dialogue with your body and say, okay, look, you're on empty right now, but I'm going to walk and embrace that emptiness, and I'm not going to let it bother me. And after a while, you forget about it because it goes away. And then you realize, oh, it's time to eat, and then you eat, and it's just as simple as that. But yes, you do have to kind of, you have to make peace with your body. You have to kind of say, okay, this is what we're going to do. And it's good for you. It's like, this is a good thing. When I know that right now, yeah, would I like to have a meal? Yeah, I'd enjoy a meal right now. Absolutely. But right now, the benefits of being empty is now my body's doing other things. It's doing other processes that are very, very beneficial for me and my body. So once I realize that, okay, when I feel the emptiness, when I feel some of the mild hunger pangs, it's not overwhelming. It's not something that I have to be afraid of. Don't have to be afraid of it. You can just enjoy the process. And one of the things that I discovered too is that the food that I eat, now some of the food I used to, I try to eat because it was healthy food, and it is healthy food. I don't know if I really enjoyed it that much because it was like, well, okay, supposed to eat this because it's healthy. Last night I started off with some cold, I made some Brussels sprouts the night before. I love Brussels sprouts. But man, they sure tasted good. They tasted phenomenal. I mean, they were just delicious. They had just the right amount, a little bit of salt. I put a little cayenne pepper on them. Oh my goodness, were they good. Then I had a couple pieces of beef. What else did I have? Oh, and then I had some nut butter. I like walnut nut butter. That was my treat. That was my dessert. And I was full. And that's it. That was just it. So the thing was that it's not really depriving yourself. It's not punishing yourself. But I really think more and more, at least for me, going to save me. I'm not telling you that you have to do this. But I have discovered that if I am responsible in what I eat and when I eat, how I eat, I have a positive benefit. And that's exciting. So it's not a negative. I guess that's what I want to say. Fasting is not a negative thing. It's not like something you have to, gut yourself through. In the beginning, it's hard because your body is having to learn to now adapt to this new way of being. But once you become comfortable with it, once you accept it, once you embrace it, once you kind of walk with it and just be at peace with it, you will see in time some wonderful benefits. And again, if you want to know what the hacks are to kind of keep the hunger pains down, there are some little hacks that you can do. One being you would be very wise to eliminate, again, high sugary foods, high carbohydrate foods from your diet, because those spark intense hunger pangs. So you kind of set yourself up for a real hard time if the things that you do eat are basically junk food, because your body just burns right through those things, spikes your blood sugar, and then it comes crashing down. But if you eat sensibly, don't eat calorically, but eat nutritionally, eat that balanced meal, you're going to find that you have a longer satiety. And then when you are in an empty phase, when you're going through that empty phase, you go through the fed phase, then you go through the empty phase, okay? That empty phase isn't that noticeable. It's not that it's not hard. It's just something you go, oh, okay. It's just like anything in life that we don't, that we say, well, because I look at the empty phase now as just being neutral. It's not, it's not pleasurable, but it's not painful either. It's just the empty phase. So try and experiment with that. If you're used to eating, say, 3 meals a day, just try and just either postpone your first meal until, say, afternoon. That's when like Sunday's my free day. When I mean that, it's not a cheat day. It just means that I don't restrict myself to the 24-hour thing, because after I'm done on Sunday with the services, and I have the afternoon mostly to myself, then I just will say, okay, I'm going to just eat. I'm just going to enjoy just eating. Okay, it is more of a recreational day for me, and I'm not super strict with myself and saying, nope, can't eat until 5 o'clock, or 4 o'clock, whenever the 24-hour period begins to end. I just give myself one free day, just like I don't exercise on Sunday. I do a little minor things, but I'm not, doing the pull-ups and the push-ups and doing the running and the walking. I just have a light day, but I'm still moving. So anyway, that's all I wanted to share in this video. I hope that you're doing well. I know some of you are striving, and you're on that road, to get your health back in order, and I commend you. I salute you for that. Be patient with yourself. Don't beat up on yourself. Be good to yourself. Don't obsess about it. Just relax. Just kind of relax. I guess that's one of the things I'm learning now is don't get so wrapped around the axle that, oh, I'm not losing the weight I wanted to lose, and how come this isn't working for me? And it's like one little gal says, the race, it doesn't go to the swiftest, it goes to the slowest. So be patient with yourself. Time is that great healer, and things will get better for you. But you have to accept some realities of life, and because a lot of these gimmicks are about people that tell you you're going to lose all this weight, And again, there are lots of quote unquote diet programs out there, and you can lose weight, but it's not about losing weight. In fact, that's only an ancillary thing. Weight loss it's about getting control over your relationship with food. And but once you have I think a proper relationship with food, all those other things will fall into place. I really believe that. I mean, it's happened for me, and it's happened for lots of other people. So I think I'm done preaching for today. But anyway, so enjoy your life. Have a blessed weekend, a peaceful weekend, an enjoyable weekend. And I don't know when I'm going to make another video, because now I'm back in the saddle again, back into work. So won't have the luxury of just saying, I think I'll make a video, because I now have other responsibilities again, and so it won't have the luxury of having a lot of free time, which is okay. Again, have a good time in what you're doing, and we'll see you soon in another video. So take care and enjoy your pipes, and have a nice weekend. Okay, so that's all for now. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching, too. Really appreciate it. Now, how do I turn this thing off? I guess I do that.